I knew he was going to try to push me out there, so I kind of let him push me to the edge a little bit. And I knew hopefully I had enough time, but I was trying to kind of get him to give up a little bit on the edge, which he did. I was able to cut away real quick there with a couple seconds left.
Winning these matches all year, Kellen, you won 1-0, you've gone into the overtime, won a ton of matches. At some point you think, like today, did it go through your mind at all that this might come back to bite me?
No. Once you start thinking like that, then it's gonna. So the whole time, I'm confident. I was trying to get my stuff going, but, me and him wrestled pretty similar. So he was kind of ready for what I was gonna do, and I was ready for what he was gonna do. So it was kind of, we each got a couple of half shots in there, but we weren't really able to get a good shot. So I was just, trying to wrestle smart and give myself an opportunity to score.
You feel your conditioning was a factor, obviously, when you get into those overtimes. One little thing might make a big difference.
Yeah, I definitely felt, I felt better in the overtime than I did in the first period. Just, hour wanes and stuff like that. But, I felt great going in overtime. I wasn't tired at all. I actually shot a lot more in overtime than I did during the whole rest of the match.
Your coach, Joe McFarland, after the Big Tens, he's seen a lot of wrestling. He's wrestled a lot. He's coached a lot of All-Americans. He said you're the best overtime wrestler he's ever seen. Can you talk about your psyche in overtime?
Well, I'm pretty good because I got practice. A lot of practice, especially this year. But I just go into every period like I'm going to win that period, and I don't let little things get in my way in overtime, which some people get frustrated when they start getting tired. They start thinking about the ref too much, and if a guy's pushing out like that, a lot of guys will get frustrated and start complaining and stuff like that, and that just takes away from it. Instead, I kind of was frustrated, but I went back in the middle and I set up a new game plan to score on the edge of the mat.
Now, there's one moment in the match where you were literally on the guy's back, hanging upside down. What was going through your head at that moment?
I knew if I got my body or my legs locked around his body, I knew he wasn't going to be able to take me down. So I was just really hoping he wasn't going to turtle back me, jump backwards. I had that happen a couple years ago, and it wasn't fun.
Gotcha.
Got Montel Marion in the next round, and he won it with the last second. Thoughts about competing against the Iowa opponent?
I wrestled him earlier this year. It was a tough match. I had to come back and win in overtime against him. So, it's always tough to wrestle against an Iowa guy. And, I wrestle Iowa at home. So I don't know if we can get much worse than wrestling at Iowa. So hopefully the crowd will be a little less of a factor here.
Knowing that you're going to have a Big Ten guy either way, how did that factor into your psyche?
I knew going into the tournament I was probably going to have to wrestle a couple Big Ten guys. So, it doesn't really bother me too much. I was wrestled 2 weeks ago at the Big Ten, so, it's just like every other Big Ten match we're trying to go into.
Close to home, does that help out?
Yeah. It's good to see some friends and family here, so it's nice to be close to home.
Good match.
Thanks, man.